Alright, what's up everyone? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're talking all about the brand new Nike Streakfly. These are the hottest shoes in the world right now, and we're going to go over everything that I learned in my first run. So I've actually paid less for these shoes than the last couple pairs of shoes that I've bought, and I can't always say that about the newest Nike, but regardless of that, right here, these are gonna be something special. So let's talk about 3 things about the new Nike Streakfly that I think are gonna be really important for you when you're considering picking up a pair. And those 3 things are, number 1, all the stats, number 2, my impressions of this shoe, and number 3, what I'm gonna be looking for in the lead up to the full review of the Nike Streakfly. So disclosures out of the way, I did pay for this shoe with my own money. In fact, it was a pretty funny story because I had to get this off the app, and it was literally like you're swiping through, swiping, and all of a sudden it's like available buy, and next thing I know it's sold out. But I did get a pair off the Nike app, and this colorway actually is sold out, and I don't think it's ever coming back. I think this was like a limited edition version of the Streakfly, but good news, in about a week, Running Warehouse is gonna have a brand new stock of the pink and orange version. So I actually think those look kind of cooler than this. So lucky you, you'll be able to pick those up pretty soon. But all right, let's go over some specs on the Streakfly. Size 9, this came in at 6.0 ounces, but my size 11.5, it was 6.8 ounces, 192.7 grams. So crazy light. Stack is 32 in the heel, 26 in the forefoot, giving you a drop of 6 millimeters. There's no carbon plate in this shoe, but there is a P-Bax shank, they're calling it, right here in the midfoot. And that's gonna just give you a little extra stability and help you get through that foot strike a little bit quicker. My first run in this shoe is 6.25 miles. It was kind of like a progression run, starting at 7:55 per mile, ending up at about 7:15 per mile. I did get a size 11.5 as my typical size, and it worked out fine, but I think if I was going to get this shoe for a race, I would probably go down about a half size because I think it might just run a little bit long, so half size down might have been best for a race. As far as comfort, oh my gosh, they are super comfortable. I mean, these shoes figuratively disappear when you put them on your feet, and the midsole is so squishy, it's insane. And so that kind of leads me into the next point. We're gonna talk a little bit about how they felt on your foot. Did they have a very secure feel? And so for me, this is kind of an interesting one because this is the first time I've ever ran in the Nike Zoom X foam, and when you just put it on for the first time and you're just kind of walking around, it's pretty unstable. You kind of go left and right quite a bit, but when you start running, it's almost like the shoe and the foam knows exactly what it's supposed to do, and it just gets you through your foot strikes super efficiently. I never felt like my feet were wobbling at all. It's pretty phenomenal, honestly. So let's talk about the upper. There was actually quite a bit of bunching in the upper right here at the base of the laces, and I think that's due to the tongue being almost fully gusseted on each side. So when you pull the laces tight from the top, it's great. You can actually pull them and the whole shoe tightens. That's almost exactly what you'd want anyway. But it does kind of bunch up down here at the bottom. And the good thing is though, when I went on my first run, I didn't even feel it at all. So it's really just kind of a cosmetic thing. But one thing I do wish that Nike would have worked out just a little bit better. There's also quite a bit of volume on the inside of the shoe that I can't imagine really not needing to tighten the laces very much, so I feel like probably everyone is going to experience this just a little bit. And that kind of leads me into the forefoot. There is plenty of room in the forefoot. I had absolutely zero issues at all. If you're coming from anything like a Hoka, you'll notice that there's quite a bit more room in the forefoot. I also had plenty of vertical height for my toes, so nothing to complain about there. As far as the tongue goes, it had really good padding, and there's 2 pads on each side of the tongue, and combined with the soft, kind of a little bit stretchy laces, and it just provided a really nice feel. There wasn't any pressure in the wrong place in my foot. There is a space down the middle that does not have any padding, and I was a little bit concerned about that right away, but honestly, when I put the shoe on and started running in it, there was absolutely no negative feelings on top. So I will pay attention to that just a little bit more, especially when I get into maybe some longer runs and maybe have to crank the laces down just a little bit tighter. I will let you guys know if that does start to cause any issues. But right away, first run, tongue was great. All right, let's talk about the heel of the upper. It's pretty minimal. There's not much to it at all, but it is structured just enough, and it has to do with this plastic cup here in the back. I am pushing, and I'm pushing a lot harder than I've pushed on other shoes before, and it's just moving a little bit, but it is structured enough with the plastic cup back here. There's also a perfectly placed pad around the entire back of the shoe to lock your heel down in there. It just worked out just great on this first run. Also up here, there's some extra fabric. I'm not really sure what this is for. I'm guessing it's maybe like a pull tab, but I did notice that once I started running, it folded itself down just like that. So not a big deal. It looked a little weird, but that's the only thing that I noticed with that back there. All right, now let's talk about the fit. One note I will make is that there is basically no arch support. So if you're someone who really needs that, just be careful, because this is also a shoe that you cannot take out the insole and add your own, but just something that you need to know as you go into it. Not a whole lot of arch support, and you cannot take out the insole. All right, let's talk about the ride of the Nike Streakfly. So the landing in this Nike Zoom X foam is really impressive, how they can absorb all the energy and really make it bounce right back. I felt really efficient in these shoes, which is something I really can't say about all the shoes I try. A lot of times I feel like the energy is kind of being stolen away, or I'm having to put extra energy into certain spots in my foot strike, but with the Zoom X foam, there was absolutely none of that. The forward rock is assisted by the 6mm drop, which is not super aggressive, but it's just enough to get you up on your toes and really get you through that foot strike. All right, I know I've kind of talked about the midsole foam, but I want to mention it again. It was just an absolute joy to run in. I felt like I was continuing to get energy throughout the entire run. And this one, I basically turned it into a progression run. I kept dropping the pace each mile that I went. The midsole, it just really felt like it was complementing my running, and it was getting me in and out of my foot strike and efficiently providing enough bounce to keep moving forward at pace. And the great thing about this shoe, and all really well-made shoes, is that they don't present you with any distractions, which lead to a reduction in effort or even maybe stopping. Now, this may sound kind of trivial and made up. Any little resistance or thing that you don't like about a shoe is going to constantly be grabbing your attention and building up more and more resistance that you have to overcome to keep moving forward or keep pushing the pace. But the beauty of a shoe like this is that it figuratively disappears when it's on your foot, and it allows you to focus your mind on your tempo, your rhythm, your effort, your pace, your heart rate. It's just a thing of beauty. So next time you get a shot to try a shoe out like this, you need to try it out. Even if it's only for just a few minutes, you need to try a shoe like the Streakfly out if you never have. And moving on to the outsole, this is a high abrasion rubber in the forefoot and the heel now, which is something that I was glad to see. And the pattern of the rubber was also really nice. I had a good grip on everything, just from smooth surfaces to loose gravel, even wet surfaces, running through puddles. I just felt like I had a really good grip on everything. But okay, I think I kind of covered everything about the shoe that I wanted to cover, so we're coming down to the price. What's the price? The price is $160, and after one run, I'm gonna go with a big yes. This is definitely worth the price. The only thing that could probably change this is if the whole shoe starts falling apart before I get to my full review, but $160 is really a great price for this shoe in my opinion, as long as it does continue to perform and not fall apart, like I said. So for my final first reaction, I guess, this shoe is marketed for shorter races, and while that might be true, that might be what it's best at, I would definitely also, after one run, put this in the half marathon category right now. So I'll keep testing this and take it out on at least a 20-miler as well, and let you know if there's any, if it ever reaches a point of diminishing return on this shoe. But I'm also going to be thinking about a few questions that need to be answered in the full review, meaning exactly what is the purpose of this shoe? It's marketed as a 5K and a 10K shoe, but can you do more in it? Also, who would want this shoe and why would you buy it now? And also I'll be looking and seeing if anything changed from this first impressions video. So stay tuned for that full review. I'll have it pretty soon probably. I usually try and take the shoes to about 50 miles before I do a full review, and I don't think this one is going to take very long. So check out the links below to see when you can pick up this shoe at Running Warehouse. And also, if you haven't yet, drop a like, subscribe, share this video. It really helps the channel out a lot. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.